Okay, G. Very warm welcome to you back at my channel. I hope that you guys are doing great. A little sad because the things, or I would say the turn of events is so surprising, so shocking, and making me quite sad, quite disappointed after getting all the updates regarding Djokovic. So the bad news that I got today is that basically I got the news yesterday that his visa has been cancelled again by Alex Hawk, as I told you earlier. And despite this case being in court, the judges have also decided not to, give him the access to play the Australian Open tournament. And in addition to that, he has been deported out of Australia, and now he has landed in Dubai. So these are the turn of events. Quite sad, quite disappointing. I'm not the only one who's sad. Many of Novak's fans are also feeling the same thing. And even if we look at the tournament itself, many questions come in mind. Let's say if or had there been Djokovic, facing the other opponent in final, so wouldn't the scenario be quite different? He winning the 21st Grand Slam single title, or you may have another situation within which Nadal might be coming from another block, where Djokovic is coming from the other block, and these two guys, two big giants, facing one another in the final. So that would have been quite historical battle. Also, battle for the 21st Grand Slam, because you can't expect Federer to be there for a couple of months because the rehab is still ongoing. So the events are not going in the right direction. We can't do much except for mourning for Djokovic, of course, because the bad news, adding more insult into this injury is that now he has been banned to enter Australia for the next 3 years. He won't be able to enter it, which means that Australian Open is kind of banned for him or any of the tournaments which are held there. So that's quite sad. And though if I, share my own personal opinion, personal perspectives, not a very big fan of Djokovic when it comes to the big three, because whenever they would simply encounter or face one another, I would always support Federer or Nadal most of the time. But given the circumstances, the prevailing circumstances, the way they are moving, so I had big space for this guy. The way things are happening for him, even he or any of his fans wouldn't have expected this result for him. Even the big tennis players, including Rafa, the interviewer simply asked him also what he is feeling about it. He's also kind of disappointed and saying that I always have some good relations with all the opponents with whom I always battle on court, and even in the locker room I have some good relationship. So the manner in which things are happening, even I had this thing in mind that some of the players may simply withdraw themselves and no longer take or part within this tournament. So I had this thing in mind also that some of the people may simply leave the tournament. But thank goodness the draw is out, and each and every one of the players that are part of the draw are playing their matches, winning and qualifying into the next round. As I saw the match between Zverev. So Zverev faced another guy, I can't think of his name because probably, I won't say that he's an unseeded player, but he put up a good show with Zverev. They both played some good, nice shots, and especially the first set. Second was quite one-sided, Zverev taking it straight away in, I guess, 6-1. The third set, once again, was quite competitive, but the first one was like a decider. The set that basically went into a tie-break that he won, of course, at the end because of the experience. So that match was quite interesting. Nadal remained quite dominant within his first round against an American. So his game was also quite good. And I was just checking out, going through or scrolling down through all the other matches that were happening. So Fabio Forgini is like out of the tournament. I wasn't expecting this kind of result. Like an upset, of course. I was expecting him to go a little bit ahead into second, third, or fourth round even, because he has defeated big players, because he has what it takes to defeat the big giants of the game. But he didn't do well. And Kachanov, yeah, he has won some of the guys who have been playing these small ATP 250 tournaments, so some of them have certainly qualified. For example, Alcaraz, the guy who just faced Murray in the last tournament, so taking the title, he had to fight for 5 sets to qualify for the second round. So I had my fingers crossed. I was just simply saying that I don't know, maybe it's going to be another upset. This guy might be knocked out by the other opponent, but Alcaraz simply showed himself that he can handle the pressure. He came out quite well. So Monfils managed it well, qualified, simply won his match in straight sets, so that was also good. I'm quite excited to see how Alcaraz simply moves ahead. The second Spaniard, I would say, after Nadal, who is playing, who simply idealizes the Spaniard champion Nadal, following his footsteps, idealizes him. He's showing some good game. All the matches that I have seen so far of Alcaraz, he really has the potential of becoming a big champion, a great champion. We just have to see how he matures, how he learns the game, how he simply develops the experience by playing with the tougher opponents. We'll have to wait and see, but overall so far he's doing simply great. But yeah, that is all I have to say so far. The big players, the good players are qualifying into the next rounds. The Canadian Shapovalov, he has also won his match against the opponent. So yeah, there are certain names that I have quoted. It's quite natural. You can't simply remember the names of all the players who are simply participating in the tournament. But the big guys still have to see the first round matches of the other block, who will simply play tomorrow. But the matches that were held today, these were quite interesting. In addition to the sad news that I have just shared with you, and another news that I simply saw was regarding US Open. So Djokovic might not be able to play the US Open either. Imagine how things are turning out to be for this guy. Become so difficult for him. I don't even know whether he would be able to take it or not, given these things, the pressure, the media pressure, the political pressure, and everything that is happening just because of this vaccination thing. So it's good, it's nice. All I can say is that yeah, all the players, including you guys also, may get vaccinated so that you can also avoid such things to happen with you. So yeah, we just have to wait and see. I haven't gotten my booster yet, waiting for my 6 months. I guess they're almost up, so I will see whether I have to do it or not. Given circumstances simply makes me do it, but we just have to wait and see. Okay, take good care of yourself. I will come up, see you again with some more updates, but till that time, it's goodbye for now.